Annyeonghaseyo. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. On behalf of the bride and groom, I want to thank you all for coming out to celebrate this very special occasion. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mike, and I've known Larry for almost 17 years. We go all the way back to when I had hair and Larry had a six-pack. It was never really a six-pack, it was more like a small keg, but whatever, I guess. So we've known each other for 17 years. We were roommates all through college and for many years afterwards. So in a lot of states in this country, that makes us common law married. So I'm sort of passing him off to really his second wife. When Larry asked me to be his best man and say a few words up here, I jumped at the chance. Literally, I jumped out of my chair and I ran out the door. I did not want to do this at all. He couldn't have paid me to stand up here and make a bunch of unfunny jokes in front of people that I don't even know, and then even worse, people that I actually do know, who are going to mock me for this for years. It's pretty embarrassing. But there he was, he got down on one knee and he begged me to say yes, which is exactly the way that he asked Helen to marry him. And when I looked down at him with those puppy dog eyes, swelling up with tears, I just couldn't say no. So now I know exactly how Helen felt when she caved in and actually said yes to marry him. All kidding aside, we're here today to celebrate a wonderful occasion. Larry and Helen just got married, for better or for worse, which is actually very appropriate because Larry couldn't have done any better, and Helen could not have done any worse. I have to say though, Larry, I just want you to know how lucky you are, Larry. You get to be leaving here today gaining a new wife that's warm and loving, caring and beautiful. And Helen, how lucky you are as well. You get to be leaving here today with a beautiful new dress and a new ring. It's really a win-win. So I'm told that tonight I should be telling a lot of embarrassing stories about Larry and all of his drunken escapades over the years. Unfortunately, most of those drunken escapades are kind of incriminating to myself, so I will leave those out altogether. Anyone that knows Larry knows how stubborn he can be. Even when he realizes that he's wrong, he'll never admit it. He'll go to his grave before saying, I was wrong and you were right. And that's going to be very difficult in your marriage. It's just not going to work out. So I do have one little quick story to share about Larry that I think gives Helen a little bit of practical advice. Everybody knows that Larry likes to think he's a tough guy. But deep down inside, he's really just a little kid. And there was this great story back when we were in college that illustrates this fact perfectly. And it has to do with his irrational fear of needles. He's terrified of going to the doctor because he's terrified of getting needles. And I know his parents know this because he's passed out at the doctor's office a number of times over the years. I remember one time when we were in college, Larry thought it would be pretty cool to get his ears pierced. So I know, it's pretty good. So we all went to the mall near my parents' house, and we went to one of those little jewelry carts in the middle of the mall. And he got his ear pierced. When we got back to our house, my mom was pretty concerned that it wasn't sterilized and that, it was going to get infected. So she had him take it out, and then she boiled it in water. And then when she was going to put it back in, he got so freaked out about the thought of having this thing go into his ear that he actually passed out cold on our kitchen floor. He must have been out for at least 5 minutes. It was crazy. My mother was terrified, the dog was barking, my little sister was in tears, but I knew that he really just passed out because he was a pansy and his ear didn't hurt. So I had a great time just slapping him in the face, trying to wake him up. It was one of the best days of my life. I really got to beat the crap out of him with no repercussions at all. It was wonderful. But the point of the story, Helen, and there is a point, is that if you're ever in a situation where you think that you're arguing with Larry and he's just not going to get in, all you have to do is pull out a needle, and he will cave to your every whim. It's pretty pathetic, but it's totally true. All kidding aside, Larry, I love you like a brother. I couldn't be happier for you today to be marrying this wonderful girl. Everyone is very excited, and we're so happy to see you finally get married. We never thought it would happen, but here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glass and join me in a toast to Larry and Helen, the new Mr. and Mrs. Kim. We wish you a lifetime of happiness together. Gunbye. Cheers.